Yo, what's good? It's your man, 100 Grand Ross with The Rock Never Stops. Look, some of y'all know that I'm definitely a boxing fan. Gotten into it over the years. And more, I feel like I'm getting good feedback when I do drop a boxing video. And sometimes I hesitate to drop it ahead of time because, I tend to defer to people who I believe, probably have just as much boxing knowledge, if not even more. But there is a fight coming up that I'm actually really excited about. I know everybody was let down by the Canelo fight, huge letdown. The Shakur Stevenson, I forget the brother he faced, but it was De Los Santos, but it was a huge letdown. But Andrade and Benavidez, look, these are two fighters who don't play. They don't have styles that make you even suggest that it's not going to be a war. And considering where they're trying to get to, they're trying to get to Canelo. They're trying to get to their biggest payday of their careers. They're trying to put that stamp on their career that I am one of the greats, that I am Hall of Fame worthy. Both of them. Now, despite Boo Andrade being two-division world champ, he hasn't had that signature fight yet. And David Benavidez would be that signature fight. Shoot, in fact, getting to Canelo would only further cement his legacy. And I want to break down the fight a little bit and what I see from both fighters, because I believe that both of them, it's 50-50. It's you can suggest a 60-40 probably for either fighter. And if I'm honest with you, when it comes to skill and talent, I might give it to Andrade. But when it comes to intangibles, I might give it to Benavidez. And that's what I want to dive into in this video. Let me start off with David Benavidez. David Benavidez is a monster. Look, he has validated every bit of that name being a monster. His aggressiveness, his tenacity, his mental focus, his nastiness in the ring. We probably haven't seen nastiness like that probably since Terrence Crawford. Right? He's just nasty. He just, he wants to fight you. He wants to get into it. Right? And when he does, it's a wrap. When you get baited into it or you get too tired to avoid it and that fight starts between you two, it's a wrap. His hand speed is elite, absolutely elite. His power is top class. And his ability to cut off the ring, his ability to understand angles, his ability to mix up his punches and combinations going to the body. He's got a vicious body shot with that left hook to the body. It's vicious. And then when he goes up top, the moment you drop your hands, his accuracy and his speed, it's overwhelming in a short amount of time, and it can turn the tables of a fight in a moment. Now, when you start also thinking about his boxing acumen and Benavidez's ability to understand how to play mind games with you, how to draw you into his fight, it's funny because people understand what he's trying to do and they can't seem to help avoid it. You know what I mean? It's almost like that spider in the web and the flies just flying around. It's like you see it there. It's a trap. Just can't seem to avoid it. And the moment you do, you're stuck and it's a wrap. And I think when you watch Benavidez, his ability to stalk his prey, his ability to cut off the ring, his ability to land in bunches, his ability to turn the tides of a fight in a moment is nothing short of incredible. And it's why he's considered a monster. It's why he's elite. It's why he's a champion. It's why he's somebody that everyone is looking at and saying, yo, man, he was the boogeyman until he beat up Plant. And now he's just here. He's just here. And everybody's got to reckon with him. But I would have to say Boo Andrade, Demetrius Andrade, he's another fighter who I feel has all the tools and the skill needed to beat just about anyone, including David Benavidez. You see, Demetrius Andrade, one, he has a very awkward, I know people say this, a lot about an awkward style. An awkward style, it isn't just how your body moves, but it's your footwork, it's your timing, it's your angles that prevent your opponent from being able to find a rhythm, to find your rhythm, to begin to be able to land their punches. And the impact that it has on a lot of opponents is that you miss so much trying to find the range, trying to find where you think he's going to pop up and his head is going to be or his body is going to be, that it begins to slow you down and take you out of your game because you're missing and you're getting discouraged and you're getting frustrated. And so you start reaching and you start overextending and you start going back in a straight line, or you begin to, not throw as many punches, right? And this plays into a fighter like Andrade's hands because he's able to hit you from so many different angles, with so many different punches. And his elusiveness and his movement is also setting up what he's trying to do. And so while you're frustrated and fixated on trying to find him, it brings your defensive guard down because your focus is elsewhere. It's focused on trying to find him, not even the type of punches you want to put together. You're just trying to find where he's going to be so you can land a punch. And that's what many times pulls a fighter out of his game plan and allows Andre to take advantage. But here's another aspect of it. Demetrius Andrade, with his footwork and his timing, is able to put together almost a style of punches that is really hard to understand where the punches are going to be coming from. I was watching some of his older fights, and some of the punches that he would make, ducking under a straight left, coming around to his right, but then throwing that left over the top at the same time. Like shots like that, being able to wheel around his opponent and go to the body with speed and power. And I know people question his power. Look, I'll be honest, he's definitely got more power than Caleb Plant. But I think his real source of weaponry is his reach with his power and his speed. Because with the reach, power, and speed, and really his athleticism as well, it allows him to land punches with accuracy at angles that you're not expecting. And I think that that's something that's definitely going to be hard for David Benavidez to calculate and to figure out, because you don't fight that many athletes. And when I say athletes, like when you understand, like Demetrius Andrade, very similar to Terrence Crawford, right? Plays all sports, right? He does it all. He's not just like, oh, I only boxed. He's like, look, I played basketball, I played football, I wrestled, I do everything. And so my body moves differently, has a different level of explosiveness and quickness at different angles, because I've developed my body's motor skills from a young age to be able to do a lot of different things that contemporary, boxers just really don't train for, because you don't see it as even necessary. And so his style of moving his body, what may appear awkward to his opponent, for Andrade is natural, and he's at home, right? And so he's executing his game plan while his opponent is trying to figure it out. And I think that that's going to be the major question is, can Benavidez figure out how to land on Demetrius Andrade before time is up? Now, I think this is where the chess match comes in, because I think David Benavidez, he has that mental fortitude. He has that determination. He has that focus. He has that mindset that he's going to come for you, and he's going to bring you, he's going to draw you into his fight. He's going to goad you. He's going to mock you. He's going to talk trash to you. He's going to go at your ego. And as a fighter, somebody goes at your ego, what do? You come right back. But here's the thing. Can Demetrius Andrade be disciplined enough to not get pulled in? And I think maybe we're seeing it. I don't know. We'll see. But is his prequel kind of, the interviews that they have, before the fights, is his respectfulness of David Benavidez a mental mind game to deter Benavidez from having that level of visceral aggression that allows him to sustain himself through the early rounds of not being able to catch him and find him, right? Like, it's one thing to get frustrated. It's another thing where you're more angry and aggressive and want to hurt somebody, that it doesn't allow your mind to shift to, oh, you're missing a lot, or you can't find him, or he's landing punches and you can't seem to find the range with him because you don't have the same level of footwork, right? And so if Andrade is playing that game, then kudos, smart move, right? But what I'm interested in is, but does he still really want it? And I think that that's what it's going to come down to. It's like, do you really want it? And when I say want it, I mean, do you have the determination in those later rounds that's going to say, look, it's going to get hot at a point, but I'm going to maintain my focus and my belief in myself that I can defeat you, that I will defeat you, and I can trust my talent and my skills while executing my game plan. Because if I'm honest with y'all, the game plan that has to be there for Demetrius Andrade is you cannot get sucked into a firefight. You cannot get sucked into a brawl. You've got to deploy that Arslan Lara versus Canelo Alvarez and stay on the outside, using your reach, your timing, your speed, and your mobility, that athleticism that allows you to wheel around, to move laterally. Because if you move forward and back, you're going to play right into Benavidez's hands. And if you slow down in terms of staying on your bicycle and staying on the outside and moving laterally, if you get tired, you saw what happened to Plant. It's going to get ugly for you. And so if Demetrius Andrade can stay disciplined in those later rounds, and I'm talking 8 through 12, right? 7 through 12, right? How do I know? Okay, David Benavidez, he might have won this round. He landed some heavy shots, but I'm going to get back to the outside because I don't want to let Benavidez build up steam. I don't want to let him find that rhythm. I don't want him to start feeling that, okay, I got him, and start coming on, because that's when he turns into a completely different monster, right? You want to keep him searching for you, right? You want to keep him frustrated. You want him to reach. You want to be able to wheel around, land the effective punches on the outside, and then get out of there, because that's what's going to allow you to win the rounds, win on points, right? And get to 12 and have your hand raised. Because if it's a firefight, if you're not mentally disciplined, if you don't believe, you will not survive. David Benavidez is every bit the monster that they say he is. That speed and that power, that determination, that nastiness, man, it's something special. It's something ridiculous. And if you're not ready for it, it will destroy you. It will. But if I have to bet on somebody in this one, I think I'm leaning towards Andrade by decision. And I'm saying that because Andrade knows, I think this is it. This is it. Look, he's been on the outside looking in the majority of his career. And he's towards the end of his career. If he doesn't win here, he becomes a gatekeeper. Becomes a guy that's too dangerous to fight and easily avoided because he hasn't proven that he deserves to be faced. And I think his career tapers off. I don't see a Caleb Plant fighting him unless forced to. I don't see Durrell. You probably may have to end up fighting a Morrell or someone like that in order to, try to get his name back in the mix. But even then, it's like, why? Why fight somebody that dangerous? If I can avoid him and still get to my destination and goal. And so this is it. Andrade has to win. He has to come out victorious. And Canelo Alvarez will be waiting for him. Because if y'all remember a long time ago, when they were all trying to call him out, Charlos and, Benavidez and Plant and Andrade, he was like, look, man, clean out the division. And when there's one left, then come see me. And I think he meant it. I think he meant it. Because it's a dangerous division. And we all know Canelo, he'd rather take the road more easily traveled, if we're honest. But he's still a great fighter. And he's smart enough to know, look, I don't want to have to go through Andrade and Benavidez and Plant back to back to back to back. Nah, let me go cherry pick Plant really quick and wait for them to get it out and only face one of them. But if I'm honest with y'all, I think both of them can beat Canelo. Can. And I think this fight between Andrade and Benavidez is going to show us who actually can and will. As always, though, I want to know what you all think. Holler at me in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'm going to get at y'all next time. Peace.